The first thing I would encourage you to do is stop making to-do lists and make a to-be list. One day, I want to be this. If you don't know what that means, this is what you do, okay? Sit down and say, one day I'm gonna be in a casket and people are gonna say stuff. What do I want them to say? Now, you're not writing their script right now. Just read this. No, that's not what I mean. No. Write down the kind of person that you would want to become, that if they didn't see the paper, they would stand up one day and say, you know what's true about that person? And they would actually stumble upon something you wanted to become. For 20 years, this has not changed for me, except a few names. I said 20 years ago, I want to love the Lord with all my heart, soul, and mind. I want to love and cherish Tabitha as Christ loves his church. I want to love, train Josiah, Caleb, and Seth to live for the glory of Christ. I want to honor and care for my extended family. I want to lead, feed, and shepherd Providence with faithfulness and humility. I want to make disciples that make disciples. I want to be a faithful steward of my body, finances, time, and friendship. See, when you have something like this, and then what I do is every 6 months, I go back in blue ink, what I'm not going to read you, and say, over these next 6 months, I think I'm going to try to do this in order to lean towards the things that I want to become. And so maybe this might be helpful to you. Just make a little list of this is who I want to become. You say, well, I'm already old. Well, this is the first day of the rest of your life, right? So start now. And then here's the second thing. Share it with somebody. Share it with somebody. Say, I want you to see something. And then if you are really bold, this is what you say. I want to ask you, if you ever see my life moving in directions and paths that would take me away from this, would you please come and tell me? I invite you to come and tell me. And then consider just a few other things as it relates to long-term investments, okay? Now, those of you who want like notes, this is gonna be frustrating to you, okay? Because they're longer sentences and we're not gonna spend too much time on them, okay? So, it's hard. First thing, the reward grows when we invest small amounts of time in godly priorities, okay? If you go to the gym frequently instead of sporadically, if we play with our kids every single day for 5 minutes, if we save a little bit of money every day, if we spend time with the Lord, a little bit of time every day, if we invest in a neighbor who doesn't know the Lord just a little bit every day, what happens is, over time, there's a cumulative effect that takes place, and there's a bigger reward. Second, the cost grows when we neglect small amounts of time in godly priorities. What does this mean? It means if I don't go exercise, and I get motivated one day and say, today I've not gone in 4 months, but today I'm going to the gym, I'm gonna work out for 5 hours to make up for all of those times. There's a tremendous amount of cost with very little payout. We say, I've not played ball or I've not played catch with my kids. And so today we're going to the park and we're gonna throw the ball until our arms fall off. We think no, it's not. 5 minutes a day, there's gonna be greater payout in things of priority than if you say, you know what, I'm gonna do it one time. Which is why spouses who never communicate and try to make it up with one big trip at the end of the year, there's a big problem. That gets to the fourth or the third, and it's this, is the crisis grows when we invest small amounts of time in ungodly priorities. In other words, if we take all those little 5-minute increments and we looked at pornography every day for 5 minutes, there's an enormous crisis. If we lie to our spouse a little lie every day for 10 years, there's an enormous crisis. And so think about compound interest when it comes to your time and priorities, because there is the reward, there is a cost, and there is a crisis.